One of the funny things about that night, I had this big towel over my head and Vittori came in to ask how I was. And I just took the towel off and looked at him and grinned. And the two bits of skin just sort of fell apart and he had to leave the room. But I got the stitches in, still got a scar, gonna have a scar forever. These are the things that happen on the cricket field.
Ben, as hard as it's going to be for you to answer this, but could you take us through the injuries that you've had through your career and how did you feel while going through all of that?
You might run out of tape if I go through all my injuries. I've had so many. I don't know why. It just happens. I've certainly bowled a lot faster when I first started playing cricket, sort of mid-140s as to I do now. And that's part of me having to evolve to have more longevity in my career and also focus more on my batting because I know that's going to help rather than just being an out-and-out fast bowler. To be fair, it was only 6 months ago I thought I might not play cricket again because of what I'd done to my shoulder. But I worked so hard, worked through all the pain to get back in time for the Big Bash, where I had one of the best Big Bashes I've ever had, and probably courtesy of that I find myself here in a setup like KKR, once again back at the IPL. Big Bash, for those who haven't seen, it was an early Big Bash game in the season a couple of years ago for the Brisbane Heat when I was still playing for them, playing against Melbourne Renegades. Test opener Marcus Harris teed James Pattinson straight up in the air. And for those who haven't caught a cricket ball under lights, when the ball goes straight up at night, there's no depth to judge the ball on. And I knew I was cooked as soon as that ball went up because Majid was probably the closest fielder, but he did not want to bar it. I think he ran the other way. So I knew that was mine. I got under it as best as I could. I got my hands high like I always do, but I just knew that I was in trouble as soon as that ball went up. Didn't get a hand on it, hit me square and in between the eyes. Somehow sort of managed to juggle it. And then watching from the replays, I pushed it up, and my thinking at the time, even though it was a split-second decision, was I could see Majid or someone in teal very close to me. So I tried to push it up to them to catch because I didn't think I had close enough grasp to it on my chest. I still think I caught it, looking back on the replay. They gave it not out. One of the funny things about that night, Daniel Vittori was our coach at the time, and there's new concussion rules and whatnot around, around getting hit in the head. And they can rule you out and bring another player in. I felt I was okay. I knew I had a big gash across here and I was lying on the doctor's bed waiting for to put the stitches in. And he kept telling me how much blood there was, which didn't hold me in a great deal of confidence of getting back out on the field. And I had this big towel over my head and Vittori came in to ask how I was. And I just took the towel off and looked at him and grinned. And the two bits of skin just sort of fell apart and he had to leave the room. But I got the stitches in, still got a scar, gonna have a scar forever. These are the things that happen on the cricket field. But I went off the field, had 8 stitches put in between my eyes, and then I came back out and bowled. Probably a lot of that drive comes from mum and dad. They were always driven to get what they needed to for the family or work hard, or before I came along and the rest of us kids came along, he always worked so hard to provide for the family. It's probably just that work ethic that he's instilled in all of us as his kids. That flows out there onto the cricket field. And for me, I suppose as a fast bowler, having been through so many injuries, I probably feel something's wrong if I'm not in pain, as sick or as bad as that sounds.